Today we're doing a 1-hour life reset at home to get back on track. It's gonna be very simple, fix our sleep schedules, wake up earlier. I'm gonna show you how I get my life together, plan my intentions, track better habits, all while reducing my screen time. I have a very simple journaling system that I wanna share with you, and hopefully after watching this video, you'll get inspired and maybe it'll give you the little push that you need for the new year. I'd like to preface this by saying I have ADHD, so I'm hoping these tips are extra helpful for those of you who, like myself, get very easily overwhelmed with goals and to-dos. And as always, if you like these kinds of videos, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, give it a thumbs down. That just kind of shows me how you feel about certain content. Finally, you know how we do things around here. Get into your comfy PJs, cozy slippers, your offline humans tea, and let's get on into it. Hello there, and welcome to a little life reset. A 60-minute one, might I add. Actually, this has been a format that has been brewing in my brain for quite some time because I really value my Sunday resets, but this is something I do within myself every single week to just help me get back on track. So I've been trying to figure out ways to really show this on the internet. I have a few goals for today's video, okay? 1, get back on track. 2, do it in a way that's non-overwhelming and leaves me feeling accomplished. 3, I really want to build a signature routine, but more than that, I want to share with you how I do it, and I'm very excited. Ooh, okay. I always start off with a little fun drink in hand. I'm having Rising Ritual by my brand Offline Humans. This has orange, pineapple, mango, passion fruit. She's delicious, she's exotic. We're actually gonna move, okay? Come on along with me, but I just wanted you to know you should have a little fun drink in hand before we get started. But come on, let's go. Hey. Yes, I'm sleeping on the floor now these days. I know. Hello. Welcome to the conference room. Let's start with a little tidy up because first thing we need. Holy moly. You might be like, what the heck? No, yeah, here's the thing. Planning has got to be fun. It's got to be colorful. I find that because I get easily overwhelmed, this is what makes it fun. This is what sets the mood. You set your little ambience. It could be a candle. It could be something like this, a little spray. This is so nice, by the way. And you just put out all your supplies. Now we're ready to go. What exactly is the Best Me Journal? The Best Me Journal is an all-in-one journaling system that helps you plan, reflect, and organize life's to-dos in a non-overwhelming way. This has been my go-to journal for the past 2.5 years. It's actually been my go-to system after being diagnosed with ADHD. Even though at the time I didn't really understand what I was doing, I felt like I could never catch up in life. I constantly felt in this state of like procrastination paralysis, which is what they call it when you just look at a huge list of to-dos and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Therefore, I'm not gonna do anything. I would constantly be creating goals and intentions for myself that I would never accomplish. So then it left me feeling not only drained, but burned out because I just couldn't keep up with the things I wanted. This was a system that I developed that has really worked for me. So I wanted to show you not only why I love this journal, but why this has been my go-to system and how I use it and how it's helped me, but also hundreds of you. So we're just gonna follow the system in here together. So for this video in particular, I really wanna focus on what I would do at the beginning of each month, which is these pages right here, the year at a glance, my intentions for the month. I'm gonna walk you through that, my best me routine, and then the things that you would do daily, such as my best me routine, the today worksheet, and the brain dump, okay? Everything else, all the other sections in this page, we're not going to be tackling today just because that would be a very long video. But if you're interested in that, I will definitely figure out a way to incorporate that into like another little YouTube series. But this is just what we're going to do for the beginning of the month and the year, okay? Just some BTS. I kind of wish I had filmed everything it took to get this set up. But you're about to see it in 3, 2... Before we get started, something I usually get asked is what pens do I use? I'm not gonna lie to you, I like to make a lot of mistakes and I love my Frixion pens. I just wish these were more pigmented. That's my only thing, but I really love that they erase and they erase beautifully. I always like to use a 0.5, but the smaller the tip, the better. So here we have a little smaller tip. This one is a Slissy pen, is vibrant, it's beautiful, and it's a 0.25, which is just, look at that. Look at that. Tiny and gorgeous, okay? I love that one. So this is number 1. This is if I want it to look very cute. And then I also like this one. This is the Frixion 0.3, but again, it's not that pigmented. But if I want to be erasing, these are my go-tos. So today we might mess around with a few of these. I just think this looks so aesthetic because this is actually my real notebook. So for videos like this, I'm using like a fake one because I want it to look cute. And you know, it's just good to have those little boundaries. Okay, Year at a Glance is the very first one. Let's move this to you a little bit. I'm really excited to be planning with you guys. I feel like this has been a long time in the works. All right, so Year at a Glance, this is what you want to do at the beginning of each month. I'm doing this at the end of the month because I'm planning for the beginning of January, okay? Here, you're not gonna be tracking your to-dos or anything like that, like none of the small nitty-gritty stuff. You're gonna be tracking things quarterly based off of like significant events or milestones or just things you wanna keep track of. So how do I do this? I actually pull up my digital Google Calendar and I go in here and I look. And one thing I love about this whole journal is it's actually undated. So even though it is a quarterly journal, you can pretty much use her however you want. So it's nice and flexible. There's some days that I don't want to be super planned out, like on the weekends. So I don't really utilize my journal then. But then throughout the week, she's my go-to, like I have to. So January, the 1st of January is actually on a Wednesday, all the way till the 31st. I don't know, do I want to use this pen? It's so gorgeous. I think I'm gonna do it. One, just like that, and then I'm gonna go all the way down. And January is 31, da 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 da, beautiful. Okay, now I could just stick to January, but like I said, I like to do the quarter. So I'm gonna go to February as well. And I genuinely feel like I'm holding my breath doing this, but here's the one thing I want you to get used to with your journal. It's meant to look sloppy, it's meant to look ugly, and that's okay. Okay, so don't get all up in your head about the way that it looks. Ta-da! Okay, so now she's filled out, she's beautiful. Now we can actually start plotting. I'm gonna start by plotting holidays in here. So January we have, well, New Year's Day is the 1st. I don't really know if I have to plot that, but I do know that on the 1st, I'm gonna take that day to do a yearly planning. So I'm gonna put that in here. And that to me is kind of gonna be like prayer board mapping. What are like the bigger picture things that I really want to do? And it's almost like a day for you. Honestly, I really recommend one of those days. That will be on that day. We have on the 20th, Martin Luther King Day on the 20th. I'm just going to add it here as little holidays, just so it doesn't take up so much space. And then just in case I actually want to do something else on that day, I could see it. Valentine's. And on the 17th, it's President's Day. My birthday on the 8th, girl. Okay, this is a big day. Oh my God, I can't believe it. That's crazy. I'm gonna be 31. Okay, daylight savings on the 9th. A little time change, finally. And St. Patty's Day is on the 17th. Okay, so now we have the holidays. Now I'm gonna plot the bigger picture things, which really, this one should have been my next step, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm working on a book and these are pretty important deadlines. So I'm gonna plot these in. My book illustration direction is due on the 6th. Book illustration due helps me. And then my book copy edit is due on the 13th. Copy edit due. Okay. Now for events. This is where kind of like another fun part comes in. For anything that I'm not sure of whether it is happening or not, but I kind of have it in my future foresight. Use these little tabbies, and I actually utilize these a lot when planning my week. I'll share with you a little example. That's what it looks like. A little bit crazy. But the reason I like this is because if you're not sure of something, you can just like move it around. And I don't know, I am kind of a little bit of a neat freak. I do like my notebook to look kind of cute. So there's actually a really fun event. One of my friends is hosting like a little vision board night, and I might or might not go to that. So I'm not sure. I'm just gonna kind of plot it on here. There we go. Vision board night. Cool. The idea here is not to get like overwhelmed with your to-dos. I don't really have anything else for January, and I like it that way. That's great. For February, what else do I have? Ooh, February. I'll actually be doing a virtual event for Offline Humans, like a little plan with me, which if you are interested in that, I will leave more information down below in the description on how you can take part in that. That might be happening sometime in January. So I think I am going to actually set that for the 2nd to start planning. So definitely be on the lookout for that, because I think that will be a lot of fun. I will be planning it. Yeah, we could say We could say the 2nd or the 3rd, because that's actually going to be a really big thing for us. So we want to launch our mugs, okay? Some cute mugs for offline humans, along with potentially a different flavor of our teas sometime in March. So I'm also just going to plot that for the 14th, because I think that's what we wanted to do. I'm going to put that around this time, because that will be kind of ever changing. So that's pretty great. What else do we have? I'm also looking over there because we have a giant year at a glance calendar, which again, that just helps me see everything all in one place. Sometime in March, I actually have to start talking to the marketing team for the Offline Humans book that I've been writing for the last year. And I have that note written here on my computer. So I am going to add that into my March sometime around the end. I think that's fine. So start chatting with book marketing team, because I will announce the book in May. This is very exciting. I think I'm gonna plan, I always like to plan kind of earlier, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm just gonna plot it there for now. We'll worry about it after, but again, oversight of the entire month, really nice. So that is all I have right now. I will probably take a look at this every end of month when I do my reflections in my journal, but for now, this looks very good. I'm not gonna complete the January, February, or March goals. I tend to do this again at the beginning of each month, which is not the time yet, but this is just the first page, year at a glance. I feel really good about it. Now I know kind of what's happening at a bird's eye view, and things can be moved around, and some things are more set in stone, and it helps me. Let's move on to the next page. Okay, the next page we are gonna tackle are the intentions for the month. Okay, my intentions for the month. So why is this page so important? I used to find myself really just getting buried in my to-dos, and that is exactly what will happen to you too. Okay, this is some tough love a little bit. That is exactly what will happen to you if you don't prioritize reflecting on the things that you actually want to do intentionally in the month. So I find that this page to me is just so important, honestly. So here's what it looks like. It's very, very simple. My intentions for the month. Up here, you can just circle, or I like to heart what month we're in. So these are my intentions for January. We have our 6 most important categories: personal growth, intentions and mindset, health, relationships, finance, career, and business. Now, we're not gonna only plot what we want or desire, we're gonna also plot how we're gonna do that, okay? So we are creating those like specific goals, which honestly is very complex. Every time I look at it, I'm like, what does this even mean? Like specific, measurable, actionable, whatever. No, all you're gonna do is you're gonna write down what you desire and how you're gonna do that. All right, the very first thing I wanna do for personal growth is create discipline for myself. What does that really mean, okay? So for me, I feel like self-respect comes from a place of not negotiating with yourself. Such as, if I tell myself I'm gonna be waking up at 7 a.m., girl, why are you hitting snooze? Why? No, so something I wanna work on this month is not negotiating with myself. If I said I'm waking up at 7 a.m., I'm waking up at 7 a.m. And I've also heard of this rule where you count from 5 to 1, like you count backwards. So when your alarm rings, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and at 1, you better be up. That's it. That's how it works. You give yourself 5 seconds to think and really not to think. So I want to create discipline for myself, and I'm just going to reaffirm myself that comes from not negotiating. There we go. That is my first goal. Easy peasy. I thought about it. This is what I really desire. Now, how am I going to do that? Okay. A schedule, a wake up, a sleep, and a workout schedule. So with that, I feel like I'm really hitting all of my personal targets that I want, which is I want to feel more relaxed in the morning, not feel like I'm rushing through my day. I want to feel energized, so I need to be sleeping appropriately. And I also think just working out for me, for the way that my mind works, the levels of stress that I usually undertake, this is what I need to let all that go. I want to learn more this month. So for learning, I want to lean into my troubles and search for solutions. So what does that really mean? I feel like I complain a lot about things such as my stomach is hurting, I have bad allergies, I don't know, I feel like I can't figure this out in my business, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna stop complaining and we are going to search for solutions, whether that's through podcasts, through YouTube, through books. I have found so many nuggets of just wisdom in life that have helped me because of this. But how am I gonna know what those troubles are? I'm gonna start by writing a list of observations, write a list of problems I'm observing, write a list of observations. That way I'll actually know how to tackle them. So I'm gonna fill out the next few sections and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so I'm all done with my intentions of the month. You can pause this video to kind of take a quick look at how I did it, what I wanted to focus on this month. I think it's always kind of fun. And I like to be nosy too. I like to know. This really will help me just stay realigned. Now, I don't look at this daily. I only really look at this weekly when I'm planning my week, which we're not gonna be doing in this video. I will then take some of these to-dos and I will plot them into my brain dump, which we're gonna dive into after the Best Me routine. This next page is what you want to do every single day. Now, what are you doing every single day? Every single day, you are just logging your habits and the things that you really want to better. The reason I like this page is, but what we're doing is we're creating non-negotiables for ourselves for our morning and our evening routine so that you can stick to your habits. Also celebrate and feel really good about your week. So that's what we're gonna do for this week. What I also really love about this page is it is undated. So I'll give you an example. Christmas was on a Tuesday this week. I actually started my Best Me routine. I'm starting it today on a Thursday, which is totally fine. So you don't really have to even start this like on a Monday, on a Sunday. That's the beauty of this. So the areas that I really want to focus on for me being my best me are my sleep, my morning routine, like when I wake up, workouts, and time spent online. Because I think that those are all areas in which I struggle. Such a profound page because you're really going to be tracking all of the things that you want to be doing daily. And this has changed my life in the way that I lost 20 pounds because of this page. Because I started tracking me going to the gym. I started tracking me waking up early to be able to go to the gym. This also helped me get into a better routine with my acne because I really started just establishing these self-care rituals that I didn't have before. Every week I like to do this because things change and you know, you either, some weeks you want to push yourselves, other weeks, for example, when I'm on my period, I just want to be a little lighter with things. We're gonna do this one for tomorrow. So 27, week of the 27 through the 3rd. Okay, this is a little funky because it's mid-December all the way to January. Morning routine, what do I want? I would love to be waking up at 6 in the morning. I really would. That is my goal, but I'm not gonna put that here because I'm gonna fail daily, okay? So realistically, what's working for me is waking up at 7:30. That just works, and we're gonna try that for the week. Hopefully we can wake up at 7:30. The next thing I really want to focus on is my Bible time. That is very important to me. It just sets the tone for the rest of the day. So that's first thing. Amazing. Okay. The next thing I really want is some type of movement, whether that's a walk or literally going to the gym. I want to be able to do 45 minutes. So I'm going to put workout for 45 minutes. See, so we're also being pretty specific on like what time and things we're doing, and that just really helps. Breakfast. I love to focus on my protein intake. I'm gonna be putting for my breakfast, I always try to hit I try to hit 30 grams. The reason I just focus on breakfast is one, it's a little less overwhelming for me to have to track like all my calories throughout the day, but I feel like breakfast just sets me up really well for the rest of the day. And if I have 30 grams within me, I tend to make better decisions throughout the day versus me starting with like a very sweet meal. So that's my goal, 30 grams for protein. Tidying my kitchen before work and life, so I like to do that one. Again, it's simple, but these are the things that make me feel my very best. So kitchen, tidy. The other thing I love to do is make sure I make my bed. Make my bed, fantabulous. I like to make sure that I am, this one's a little bit silly. I feel like some people are kind of might even like roll their eyes. It's like, well, you really have to write down shower. But you know what? Yeah, I really do. I have to make sure I shower and get ready. And I think for me, why that's important is because I work from home. It's very easy to just kind of like put on anything and not have like a regular routine. So this is my form of feeling like regular. So shower, get ready. That makes me feel my very best. Vitamins. I don't love them. And then here's a very important one for me. No social media before 10 a.m. The reason I like to do this is I feel like I want to be able to run my own thoughts and how I feel about life prior to the world kind of like telling me how to do that. And I think that whenever first thing I do is like I open up my phone, I see terrible news or I don't know, it just immediately makes me anxious. So I'd rather not do that. And I find that me doing that for myself allows me to really just be in a better state of mind. So it's actually a lot easier than you think. And then finally, mirror affirmations. This is one that I have not really been able to do, but every time I do it, it helps me a ton. So I want to get in the habit of like, after I'm done, about to start my day, I just want to affirm myself that, girl, you got this, you can do this, you're a good leader, blah, 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 blah. It's very important for me. Okay, we're done. So here is my evening routine. One thing that you'll notice are things that I'm not so fond of doing, such as my skincare. I like to add a little fun things, such as like skincare plus YouTube. It's what they call habit stacking in Atomic Habits, which is basically creating a habit and mixing it in with something that you do like. So something you don't like with something you do like, such as reading 10 pages. I want to get better into that because it's fun to unwind, but then I want a little bit of tea. So that's the good thing. Walking to Jupiter maybe isn't always the most fun, but combining that with a little bit of a learning podcast and something that makes me zone out. So that's that. The biggest thing with this is check this daily, right? I tend to check these off right after lunch, or sometimes I will just wait until the end of the day when I'm ready to journal and plan, and then I will do my celebrations, which is always just a really nice little highlight, a little pat on the back to be like, hey, these are the things that actually worked out. It's okay if we didn't get this done. And I felt like it was very important to include that on this side. So I don't know, sometimes it can be very discouraging when you don't do your task, but there's always something to celebrate in each day. So that is the best me routine. Let's get on into the brain dump. This is one of my favorite pages and a lot of yours for a reason. This page is a very awesome page. This is the brain dump. This is something that I actually utilize every single day. Whenever something just pops into my head, this is where it gets dropped, okay? So there's a system for this. So here's the system. So basically, it is an organized to-do list. Why do I love this? Because as somebody with ADHD, it's very easy to get in your head when you just see a whole list of to-dos. It's overwhelming, one. And two, I don't really know where to start or what to prioritize. So the reason this works so well is you're gonna basically, before you jot down your to-do, you're gonna follow this very easy two-step process, which is this something that's gonna take me 5 minutes or less to do? Or is this something that's gonna take me 5 to 30 minutes? Then we're gonna put it into the task category. Now, if it's something that's over 30 minutes, you're gonna put it into the project. So it is currently December. I'm gonna do this. Okay, let's see what pops up in my brain. All right, so I'm just gonna jot down all my to-dos, everything that pops into my head, and then I'm gonna explain why I did it where. I kind of added things that popped into my head as of recent that have just kind of been, I'll give you an example. So this is one of my to-dos, create finance log timer at 8:30. That might not make sense to you, but all that really means to me is, this would probably take me less than 5 minutes, is at 8:30 daily, I want to make sure that I am looking at my finances and adding them into my Excel spreadsheet because that was part of my intentions. So I'm just gonna put that for 8:30. This is gonna repeat daily, 8:30 p.m. This is one of my little to-dos. That's it. That would literally take me less than 5 minutes. But now, for example, this YouTube video, that is under a project. I like to add an underline under projects, and then every other task that goes within that, I'll plop it under. So for example, I am filming this YouTube video. I will be done soon. By the end of it, I will just do this. But that feels really satisfying to do right now. Now with this brain dump page, again, if something pops up in my brain throughout the day, oh, I have to get Jupiter new poop bags. Great, I will add it because it'll probably take me around 30 minutes to go get poop bags. One thing I do wish this notebook had was tabs, and that is something that I've gotten a few requests about. The only reason we didn't do that is because it would raise the price a little bit too much, and I wasn't comfortable with that just yet. But we did add like these little sections here just so you can kind of like toggle and know what's what. Does it work great? Not really. I think it could be better. For my personal notebook, I did add little tabbies, and we might actually start selling these individually on our website. So film, YouTube, cool.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
And now finally for the today worksheet, this is truly the page that I utilize the most, which is why you'll notice that there is, since this is a quarterly journal, there is around 90 pages of the today worksheet alone in here. But we're gonna come back to the brain dump because that's gonna help us actually plot things. So the today worksheet, this is truly the #1 most effective way to get everything done. Now the reason being is we're time blocking. So if you're somebody like myself who you struggle with time and blindness, this is really gonna tell you, hey girl, you might not have all the time in the world, so we're gonna have to be realistic with time and schedule it in. The way that this one will work, so we're gonna be flipping back and front, back and front. I'm just gonna put a little tabby here in our brain dump. I'll give you an example. Every single night, I will plan for the next day. Today's date is December 26th, a Thursday, hey. The way that I do this is I go in, I always add in when I wake up because why not? So I'm like, I usually do breakfast here too. So brekkie. I also schedule in my shower. Work starts at 10. One thing I would have done is like, for example, I would have flipped here and I would have been like, okay, is there anything here that I can tackle? Filming YouTube, that would be my priority. So I would have put film YouTube. Now being realistic with filming YouTube, I already said that's gonna take me over 30 minutes. Realistically, a YouTube video could take me anywhere from like 2 to all day. So I just know that might take me up until lunchtime. I also like to schedule in our lunch. If I do have a little bit of buffer room, I could have done something like some scheduling here. So I could, let's see, schedule to office cleanup, decide maintenance day to refresh home, schedule grace course. Could tackle some of that stuff. I usually don't like to put in all of these quick wins. So we're just gonna continue, it's okay. So lunch. You know what? I'm gonna do this one. Pick pictures from the shoot sometime here if I have buffer. Okay, so that's good. Offline humans challenge when. I don't really have to focus on that now. I don't have to focus on that now. This is for tomorrow, so that's good. I will schedule that in then. This, I am tackling a lot of this today, but I do know team meeting is for today, so I'm gonna schedule that one in right after lunch. So I think lunch today will be a little bit shorter, so we'll do it here. Team meeting. Fancy with it. Team meeting, so I've just scheduled that. And that will probably take us a bit, but this whole meeting is all about realigning. So I'm just gonna add that here. I'm gonna say until 3:30. So then what do I have left for the day? I really do have to tackle, like today's more of like my YouTube day. So I'm gonna do all of this stuff. So YouTube work around 3:30. So YouTube work while I have dinner here. Oh my God, and then today is actually Squid Game. So I'm so excited. So we said we would start watching that here. And then every night I always do my best me journal, reflections, and all that stuff. So as you see, this feels very manageable, doable. Right off the bat, I already know that my biggest tasks for today are 1, to film YouTube. That's gotta get done. Those are my non-negotiables. 2, I'm gonna have my team meeting because we have to realign on things. And finally, 3, YouTube work. So you see how I'm not fitting in a million tasks in the day, but these are gonna get done. And that's the whole vibe, that's the whole thing. There's so many other pages in this notebook. That's a little bit of how I plan for my day. Order, we didn't dive into the other stuff, but I'm gonna leave that one for, I think, like another video. And then I think just throughout the day, I will share with you a little bit more of how I make sure these habits are getting done. I feel a little bit weird having this video just be like a plan with me, but you guys have requested this many times. So let me know if for the next one you want more of like a vlog style. I did ask you guys on Instagram and a lot of you said, hey girl, we wanna see more long form vlogs. So I will be doing more of that. But let me know if you have any other questions, if anything stands out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, hello. I bet you guys weren't expecting this. I didn't think both of you were in here.